Okay, good afternoon, Miss. Today we are going to do the
Okay.
evaluation for CHS2 and for LP this week. So I will start to ask from the homework. Here we have the homework of science. Science. Okay, we can start from the question number one, Miss.
Okay, number one, the science here.
Yes.
Living organism carry out respiration to release energy from food is true. Cellular respiration is the same as breathing is false because breathing is gas exchange while cellular respiration is to release energy in the cells. Aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen, yeah, true. Cells use the energy from aerobic respiration to stay alive and function properly, it's true. Gas exchange occurs in bronchioles, it's false. So gas exchange occurs in the alveoli, not bronchioles.
Okay, wait a second, Miss.
Process where cells break down food to release energy is cellular respiration. Blah 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 is a windpipe carrying air to lungs, trachea.
Yeah.
Trachea. So number three, tiny air sacs in lungs is called alveoli. Blah 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 is a greenish yellow juice made by the liver. It is bile. A long twisted tube in our belly is gut or intestine.
Yeah, gut or intestine.
Okay.
Next question. Yeah, here we have some question number one, Miss.
How does the human respiratory system work? So the respiratory system enables the exchanging of oxygen or carbon dioxide between our body and the surroundings. So it is made up of our nose, our trachea, bronchi, lungs, bronchioles, alveoli, and diaphragma.
Yeah, here the lungs actually, the bronchioles is inside lungs actually, right?
Yeah, but it is in our book also. They make the process like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How does air enters the lungs when we inhale? So the air enter our nose, travels down the trachea, split to the bronchi, branches to the bronchioles, and enters to our alveoli. Okay, number three. Why does the alveoli have a large surface area? To maximize the changing between to maximize the gas changing between wait sorry between oxygen or carbon dioxide between air and our blood.
Yeah.
How do bronchioles help in gas exchange? So the bronchioles helps to carry the air into our blood.
No.
How do bronchioles help in gas exchange? Oh, so the bronchioles helps the air into alveoli. Sorry,
Yeah.
into
The
alveoli. Yeah,
bronchioles is just like a branch
Yeah.
that has a tube that transport the air to the alveoli.
yeah. So the bronchioles helps to carry the air into the alveoli. Yeah, that's the answer.
Provide.
Sir, you make it stop.
Oh yeah.
Your screen. How do the ribs and diaphragm move during inhalation? So the ribs move upwards and outwards while the diaphragm flatten and move downward to expand the lungs.
Okay. Next we move to math.
Okay, number one,
Yeah. You can start from.
when something like liquid escapes through a hole is leakage. Blam is a narrow path between buildings is a narrow path. LA.
Yeah.
To get money or rewards by doing something useful is called earn. Blah 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 is using numbers, formulas, or logical steps to find result, calculate. Use estimation to check if your answer are reasonable. When adding two fractions, do not add the denominators. The formula of the percentage increase is same with the percentage decrease. If fractions have the same denominator, add or subtract the numerators. Change fractions to the same denominator before adding or subtracting. In percentage, a quantity can increase or decrease in value.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you calculate the percentage decrease of the number 40 to 34? So if you want to find the percentage decrease of the number 40 to 34, so the formula is decreasing per the original value times 100%. So it is same like 40 minus 34, it is 6 per 40 times 100%. So it is same like 100 percent divided by 4. So it is, wait, first 15%.
15% decrease, right?
Yeah.
Next, number 2.
What do we use to calculate the percentage increase and decrease? To calculate the percentage increase and decrease, we can compare to the original value. So how to find the percentage increase and decrease actually same. Just for the percentage increase, the increasing over original value times 100%. So while decrease is decreasing per original value times 100%. Like that. Number 3, evaluate the number 3.7 plus 0.5 times 1.8. Where do we know that? In mathematical operations, that we need to do is this first. Multiplication, then addition. So 3.7 times 0.8, 0.5 times 9.8 plus 0.9. So it is 4.6.
4.6, yeah.
So we need to do this part first, the multiplication. Okay, number 4.
Number 4. Here we have.
One apple costs $2.50 and 1 kilogram of grapes costs 4.70. Mr. Duff bought 7 apples and 3.5 kilogram of grapes. How much did Mr. Duff spend? So one apple is consists $2.50. So we times 7 times 2.50. Okay, wait for sir. 7. So it's 17.50. And then 3.5 kilograms of grapes times 4.70. So it is 16.45. So we add them. 17, 33.95.
Okay, 32.
Yeah.
33.5.
Yeah, because the cost of one apple is 2.50. So we times 7, and this one we times 4.70. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, now we move to IPA. Oke, ini soal untuk mata pelajaran IPA, dimulai dari soal nomor 1.
Oke, ini IPA ya. Karbohidrat kompleks memiliki rantai molekul yang panjang, ya benar. Gula termasuk dalam kategori karbohidrat kompleks, salah, karena gula itu termasuk dalam karbohidrat sederhana. Jadi yang termasuk dalam karbohidrat kompleks ini seperti pati dan selulosa. Kebutuhan karbohidrat harian adalah 70-80% dari total kalori, itu salah karena kebutuhan harian kita sekitar 45-60%. 60% ya. Selulosa dapat ditemukan dalam sayuran dan buah-buahan, benar. Kelebihan karbohidrat akan disimpan tubuh dalam bentuk lemak, ya benar. Bahan buatan manusia bukan dari alam, itu sintetis. Can you please scroll? Sir?
Yeah.
Pemanis buatan yang rasanya sangat manis itu adalah sakarin. Ukuran kekentalan suatu cairan itu viskositas. Campuran dua cairan yang tidak bisa menyatu itu emulsi. Bentuk penyimpan energi pada hewan dan manusia itu glikogen. Bagaimana konsep makanan yang seimbang menurut pendapatmu? Jadi makanan kita katakan seimbang jika kita telah memenuhi nutrisi yang kita butuhkan dalam tubuh seperti karbohidrat, protein, vitamin, lemak, mineral, dan air. Mengapa lemak tak jenuh dianggap baik untuk kesehatan jantung? Mengapa lemak tak jenuh dianggap baik untuk kesehatan jantung? Itu karena lemak tak jenuh ini mengandung asam omega 3 yang baik untuk tubuh. Bagaimana kelebihan lemak dapat memengaruhi sistem peredaran darah? Jadi kalau kita memiliki kelebihan lemak, itu akan menambah lemak di dalam tubuh kita dan membuat dan menyebabkan terjadi pengerasan di dalam pembuluh darah. Mengapa vitamin diperlukan tubuh meskipun dalam jumlah kecil? Karena vitamin dapat membantu proses kimia tubuh. Jadi kalau kita kekurangan vitamin itu akan menyebabkan defisiensi.
Okay. Next. Number 5.
Mengapa kita perlu mengonsumsi makanan yang mengandung vitamin K seperti kuning telur, kubis, dan ayam? Karena makanan yang mengandung vitamin K ini sangat bagus untuk pembekuan darah ketika kita mengalami luka. Jadi kalau misalnya kita tidak mengonsumsi makanan yang mengandung vitamin K, luka yang terbuka atau robek atau ketika terjadi luka itu akan tetap tidak akan stop, akan susah berhenti. Jadi kita perlu mengonsumsi makanan yang mengandung vitamin K karena membantu pembekuan darah ketika kita terluka gitu atau mengalami luka.
Okay, now we move to the book.
Not summary point, please.
Book first.
Oh, first.
Okay, so for this science, actually, you will teach about the respiration system, right?
Yeah.
Respiration. And from the homework, it's explained that respiration start from the nose, go to the trachea, bronchi, bronchialis, and end with alveolus. So, there is
Diaphragma, the last.
sorry.
Diaphragma.
Yeah, diaphragm and the ribs helps the respiration actually.
Yeah.
Here, let me open the book first. 38.
Yeah. We will go to the new chapter, chapter 3. Yeah, about respiration. Yeah.
Yeah, here there is two movement of diaphragm actually, downwards and upwards, and the same way the action of the ribs actually in the same just like diaphragm, upwards and downwards. So my question here is, could you explain the situation? How is the situation of diaphragm and the ribs when the air gain inside into our body? Sometimes we call it inhale, right? Inhale and exhale. How is the situation when we are doing inhale and the situation when we are doing exhale of the respiration? Here is it actually. I think we have this one. Because sometimes the diaphragm moves downwards. In which situation diaphragm moves downwards, and which situation the diaphragm moves upwards?
Yeah, so the process of inhale and exhale happens in our diaphragm. So when there is a process inhale, so we will, the ribs will move upwards and like that, upwards and outwards. That's the process of our ribs. But when the process of exhale, so our diaphragm will be flattened, and then moves, move downward because it needs to expand the lungs. So that's the process of inhale or and exhale in our circulatory system. So
Okay, so when we are inhaling the air, the diaphragm moves downwards, right?
yes,
To expand, to make
to expand the lungs.
okay, to make a space for the air.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the ribs move upwards and outwards.
Yes,
Okay, let's
that's
see.
true.
Process. Yeah, let's move to math. So for math, 48 until 57. 48. So this is percentage.
Yeah, still about percentage.
Okay, maybe we can try to solve this one. Question number 6.
Herman spends 300 food every month. He has to cut down his expenditure of food by how much? From now on, context-based questions. To cut down his. Is this still professor? He has to cut down his expenditure on food. How much?
Herman spends $300 on food every month. He has to cut down his expenditure on food by 15%.
Wait, first I try to analyze. Herman spends $300 on food every month. He has to cut down his expenditure on food by 15%. So 300 divided by 15%. So 300 divided by 15. Because so two. Yeah, so Herman spends $300 on food every month. He has to cut down his expenditure on food by 15%. How much should he spend on food every month from now on? So it should be 300 divided by 15%. So the answer is 20%. Herman spends 300% on food every month. He has to cut down his expenditure by 15%. So he spend on food every month.
This is just the same like decreasing.
300 is increasing. Herman spends 300. He has to cut down his expenditure on food by 15. How much should he spend on food every month? So 300 divided by 15. Herman spends $300 on food every month. He has to cut down his expenditure on food by 15%. 15%. How much should he spend on food every month? So I think we need to divide 300 divided by 15%.
No, we don't have to, because
This is
this
like increasing.
this is
Increasing.
decreasing the money, because
But then
we
increasing
cannot
or
divide this
decreasing?
one directly 350%, because they have different form. This is in form of dollars and this is in form of percent, so we uh, cannot divide directly this one.
So 300 minus 15, and then I cannot get it, sir. I need to learn.
Yeah. Uh, Actually, for this question, Herman spends 300 on food every month. So this 300 represent 1%, right? Then after that, he has to cut down his expenditure on food by 15%. So you have two ways to solve this one. How much should he spend on food every month from now on? The first one is you count how much the money that he cut by using this 15%, or you can directly find how much should he spend on food every month by using 100% minus 15%. So that you will have the money that he spent every month only 85% of the rest. So how much the 85%? The 85% must be 85% of 300,
So
right?
85%.
So 85%, 85 over 100 times 300. It's around 255.
Okay.
Yeah. If you times it later, 85 over 100. Yeah. You just thinks that this one is 100%. Better. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now we move to summary point. So here we have a summary point.
I'm so weak at math.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Oke, di sini kita punya summary point IPA terkait bahan makanan buatan dan bahan makanan alami, ya, Mas. Ya, oke, tolong dijelaskan poin ini, Mas.
Selain madu, buah bit merupakan salah satu pemanis alami, sedangkan sakarin adalah pemanis buatan. Iya, jadi dalam makanan itu ada dua jenis pemanis, yaitu pemanis alami dan pemanis buatan. Jadi pemanis buatan ini namanya adalah sakarin. Jadi sakarin ini merupakan pengganti gula di dalam makanan. Jadi kalau kita tidak memiliki gula, kita bisa menggunakan sakarin ini sebagai pengganti gula dalam makanan gitu. Nah, selain madu, buah bit merupakan salah satu pemanis alami. Nah, jadi salah satu pemanis alami itu selain madu itu buah bit juga gitu. Jadi ada dua pemanis, satu pemanis alami, satu pemanis buatan. Setiap makanan memiliki zat aditif untuk mempercantik makanan dan menggugah selera. Ya, jadi makanan yang kita konsumsi sehari-hari itu bisa dipastikan memiliki zat aditif di dalamnya, kebanyakan ya. Salah satunya MSG untuk membuat rasa makanan itu menjadi gurih gitu. Jadi makanan yang kita konsumsi itu kebanyakan sudah mengandung zat aditif di dalamnya. Daun saji merupakan salah satu pewarna alami makanan, sedangkan fast green FCF merupakan pewarna buatan. Ya, di dalam makanan juga terdapat pewarna alami dan juga pewarna buatan. Di mana pewarna alami ini biasanya kita dapatkan dari daun saji, ya, bisa membuat warna alami, warna makanan itu berwarna gitu. Karena kalau misalnya kita ketika membeli makanan kalau tidak berwarna itu tidak akan membuat kita tertarik gitu.
Yeah.
Jadi makanan itu perlu dibuat pewarnanya. Nah, tergantung kita lagi apa kita akan menggunakan pewarna alami atau pewarna buatan gitu. Lebih bagus kita menggunakan pewarna alami yang terbuat dari daun saji. Zat pengental bertujuan untuk meningkatkan viskositas atau kekentalan suatu produk ya. Di dalam makanan juga terdapat zat pengental. Nah, viskositas ini kita bisa tahu kalau jenis keencerannya bagaimana. Jadi kalau misalnya cairan tersebut dia sangat encer, berarti viskositasnya itu rendah, misalnya air gitu ya. Tapi kalau misalnya dia viskositasnya tinggi, berarti keencerannya itu lebih kental dia, seperti madu gitu. Jadi tujuannya itu untuk meningkatkan viskositas atau kekentalan suatu produk. Makanya digunakan zat pengental dalam makanan.
Okay, I see. Now we can move to vocabulary list. Okay, now we move to vocabulary list. We start from science. Cellular respiration.
Cellular respiration is uh, where cells breaking down food to release energy, so it use oxygen to convert glucose into energy, water and carbon dioxide.
Yeah. Okay, next. Vacuum flask.
Vacuum flask is container that keeps drinks hot and cold for hours. So the vacuum flask is a specialized container designed to keep hot liquids hot and cold liquids cold for extended periods.
Okay, next we move to math. Leakage.
Leakage is a condition when leakage. Wait for a sec. I think first leakage. It's a process liquid it's a liquid leakage, yeah. Process liquid goes out. A liquid goes out through a hole. So when there is a hole at the bottom of the water bottle, so it will have leakage.
Okay, alley.
Alley is a narrow path between buildings, so it is smaller than streets and usually not for cars.
Okay. Now we move to IPA. Molekul.
Molekul adalah bagian terkecil dari suatu zat. Jadi molekul ini terdiri dari atom-atom yang saling terikat, contohnya seperti molekul air atau disimbolkan H2O. Jadi H2O ini merupakan terdiri dari dua atom hidrogen dan satu atom oksigen. Selulosa adalah serat alami yang digunakan untuk menyusun dinding sel pada tumbuhan. Jadi selulosa ini membantu membuat tumbuhan kuat dan kaku seperti batang pohon dan daun.
Okay. Okay, Miss, I have asked from the homework book summary point and vocabulary as well, and I think that is all for our evaluation today. Thank you, Miss.
Oke, sir.